let's welcome on stage CCO of Toobit, Mike Williams. Thank you.
Hello everyone, welcome. If we were to see an altcoin resurgence in the market, how would that actually look like and what would that mean for the market volatility and how can we navigate through that? I would like to see the market as a barbell structure. On one hand, we have the institutional pillar, where we have disciplined capital flowing into Bitcoin and Ethereum. Think about portfolio management, wealth management, risk management, and hedging, things like that. And then on the other hand, we have a part that is that I like to call the retail pillar. This is a massive speculative cohort that is driving a potential altcoin rally. Now, after the events that we've seen on the 10th of October, we've seen a big directional move in the markets. And for most people, it's kind of in the wrong direction. A lot of damage has been done, but there was also a valuable insight in that because it did show and confirm that the majority of the retail traders is and have been positioned in the altcoin market. And that also tells us that there still is an ongoing narrative and that that market very much is alive within that segment of the market. But we are also entering into a more mature market. We've had a few cycles now in crypto and every cycle has become a little bit more professional. So we're moving from speculation, from speculative phases and cycles towards a more institutional cycle. We could have seen that also after those events on the 10th of October, where the fear and greed index by now has been returned back to neutral. It's also being reflected in the price, where the volume is tapering off, support levels and resistance levels are being established. And that kind of also confirms that sentiment that it's shifting back towards neutral and the market is simply digesting the events that have happened. But what we're also seeing is that narratives are also maturing, whereas in previous cycles they were just concepts, minimal viable products to test that were heavily speculated upon. But we're also now seeing some of those concepts actually becoming real-world utility solutions. I like to categorize them into 4 parts: Layer 2 solutions, RWAs, AI and deep-in, and narrative-driven capital. Very important one. I'll get to that in a second. Layer 2, networks built on top of Layer 1 chains like Ethereum. Think about Arbitrum, Optimism, make transactions faster, cheaper, and that do have that potential to unlock mass adoption for segments of the markets like DeFi, but also gaming. Think about gaming economies, for example. RWAs, the tokenization of tangible and intangible assets like private credit, real estate, and bonds. That is where that bridge between traditional finance and basically the old world and the modern world is starting to get that bridge and starting to use that blockchain. We see that transitioning happening specifically in this sector of the market as well. AI deep-in, decentralized physical infrastructure networks are also real-world networks, storage, computing, wireless, that are also built by a decentralized community. And the great thing about that is that they do provide a decentralized foundation for AI models and data collection, and those can potentially create new economies that we maybe don't even know that are going to exist in the future yet. And then we have the narrative-driven capital. This is the speculative segment of the market where value is basically driven entirely by narrative. Cultural alignment, social media virality, much more so than fundamentals. One of the most recent examples have been grounded in trending political topics. I think we all know about the Trump coin, Melania, you name them. And they're based on speculation and trends rather than actual underlying fundamentals. However, it's important to not ignore this because it does show that the narrative-driven segment of the market has an immense power that drives retail capital, and it's very liquid, very high risk as well, but it cannot be ignored because it can make big moves if it wants to. So here we are a little bit in a split. If we think about that dumbbell structure that I explained in the beginning, on one hand the market is de-risking on the left side of that dumbbell and aping in at the same time on the retail side of things. And I believe that you need the right tools to understand this behavior and, more importantly, to navigate through it without, getting damaged too much. The solution, in my view, is a platform that is designed for this particular market cycle, that also provides tools so that you can navigate and potentially profit to it, that is tailored to your risk appetite and strategies. A toolkit I think is excellent to start off with is, first of all, decentralized access. We see now solutions where early, secure and trending on-chain projects through decentralized exchange integrations, allowing people to get in very early, but also in a safe and responsible way. Also, automated trading tools. Think about grid bots, for example. Very, very, very simple, yet also very powerful and easy to manage, that can help avoid being hurt by volatile price swings. For example, just to name an example about a grid bot, it's more suited for range trading strategies where you're eliminating that possibility of getting wiped out essentially by unexpected price movements. What we've also seen is copy trading has really emerged by a lot. Many platforms nowadays offer that social trading experience where traders can learn, follow top performing market participants to gain a strategic edge in that. And I believe that the future really is going to be decentralized ultimately, or at least a combination of it. The record high surge interest for altcoins confirms that a broad-based rally potentially is in the making. And if that happens, then I also think it's going to grow with this current cycle that we're in. Because I do think the last cycle obviously was a much more speculative cycle, and the cycle before that was even more speculative. And I've already spoken about the fact that we're moving slowly from concept to actual real products. I think this next resurgence, if we're going to see that we will see a new form of evolution where some of those concepts actually become much more established and really gain that long-term value for the market that evolves the industry as a whole. And I do think it is in that altcoin sector. In the end, the key to success really is stay informed, understand the narratives, whether you decide to follow them or not. Make sure to understand them at least, and use the right tools to seize these opportunities. Some of those tools that I've just explained or talked about, make sure that you find the right tool that fits your strategy, that fits your risk appetite, and fits your investment practices. And with that, I want to say thank you for your time. Have a really great rest of your day, and see you around. Cheers.